There are many rumors about the compaction and storage of long-chopped corn silage. I'll show you how to manage silage compaction well and how to manage your silo so that you can work with low loss and good quality. One of the most common arguments is that shredlage or long-chopped corn silage is less compact than conventional corn silage. However, this is not true. Our own measurements and several international studies have shown that shredlage can be compacted just as well or even better because it achieves good defibering, provided that the chop quality and plant processing are optimal. In addition, when ensiling, one should also evaluate and optimize the location and conditions of the silo, as well as the rolling technique. On our farm, we ensile both in exposed and in fixed silo clamps with walls. We drive over the silo when unloading the wagons. Rolling is done with 2 to 3 tractors that weigh between 44 to 62 tons. This is important because that makes about 0.3 tons of rolled weight per ton of fresh mass delivered per hour. With 150 tons of delivery, this amounts to at least 50 tons of rolled weight on the silo. Good compaction prevents the proliferation of Clostridia and yeasts. Also, we can massively reduce silage losses. We also pay special attention to the distribution of the chopped material during unloading. The trailer unloads the corn with an even distribution over the entire silo. The first tractor then mainly takes care of spreading, the others only compacting. Rule of thumb: only when the trailer has been completely distributed and compacted, meaning no more loose corn can be seen, can the next trailer unload. If the infrastructure permits, we roll crosswise to achieve the highest possible compaction even along the edges. In addition, the silo system should match the crop volume. Often the silo is filled too high, especially clamps with walls, and therefore cannot be ideally compacted. This is a mistake because it gives yeasts and Clostridia an optimal living environment. Evaluations have shown that silage losses can vary between 6% and 25% and depend on the fill rate and compaction. That is why we place so much emphasis on suitable silage management and optimum compaction. To minimize these invisible costs, I'm going to show you how we cover our silos after harvest and manage them properly throughout the year. When the corn pile is sufficiently compacted, we first pull a silo film and an O2 barrier plus film over it and secure them at the corners with sandbags. Once the films are over the silo, we work with as few people on the silo as possible. It makes sense to avoid walking on the films as far as possible so as not to cause holes or damage. Then we cover the entire silo with nets. Only then do we cover the whole pile with tire sidewalls. These are easy to handle and clean, and don't lose steel wires like old tires often do. They are also great for preventing oxygen from getting in. Parallel to the tire sidewalls, we weigh down all the edges using sandbags. At both ends, there are always double rows to prevent dirty water and oxygen from getting in. This is what an optimally covered silo pile looks like. It now has the optimum conditions for complete lactic acid fermentation that is not prevented by yeast or excessive acetic acid fermentation. If possible, we leave the pile covered for 2 to 3 months and feed the corn silage from the previous year during that time. This gives us a good transition, as the silage is properly ensilaged and easier to digest. Do you think all this is overrated? One thing is certain: producing high-quality basic feed is expensive. We harvest about 20,000 tons of silage corn per year together with our biogas plant, with an average value of 45 to 50 euros per ton of fresh mass. This results in a value of between 900,000 to 1 million euros. Our clear motivation behind this elaborate silage controlling is the reduction of feed losses. Every percent of feed loss costs us 10,000 euros. On average, ensiling losses on dairy farms amount to between 6 and 25%. For this reason, you should carefully reconsider whether time spent on silage controlling and covering really is too time-consuming or expensive for you. After all, this is where the best hourly wages can be earned each year. In addition, we have fewer rotting spots when uncovering and taking out. This helps us every day of the year because a high milk yield can only be achieved with healthy cows. Therefore, pay attention to the following when managing silos. Avoid coarse plant parts and overlengths to ensure optimal compaction. For the rolled weight, the following applies. Fresh mass delivered per hour times 0.3 equals the rolled weight on the silo. Distribute the chopped material evenly on the silo during or, if necessary, after unloading. Do not unload the next trailer until the last one has been completely distributed and rolled. Roll crosswise if necessary and be careful not to fill the silo higher than the walls dictate. Cover the pile with suitable undamaged films and nets, and use tire sidewalls and sandbags to hold it in place and seal it. Since you are now in the know, nothing can go wrong with your next corn harvest. Wishing you much success!